Okay, gotcha.
A huge nerf to her early game because you can't get any creep anymore.
Just a little creep now.
Yeah. Like both of these supports, they do struggle against the summons. They have nothing, and you can also dispel the ink swell, so that's gonna be good. And it's also kind of easy game, easy hero for Celery. It's one of his favorite heroes, like Treant, Chen, Enchantress. Even after the nerfs, seems like they like want to save his hero for the last pick.
I still just want something with like more fight in the mid game from Team Spirit, probably out of the mid lane. Oh, this is sick. This is really cool. Or it's really terrible. There's no in between. It's either gonna like tragically lose them the game and like they're gonna, you know, kick Yutaro in the kick Toronto Tokyo in the head for like suggesting it, or they're just gonna absolutely own the game. No in between.
There is no in between. Well, there you have it. I'm sure that pick has made Sir Action Slacks very happy. Big fan of Wind Ranger. Lads, coming up at the draft, who do you favor based on the draft alone?
A lot of heroes that got nerfed in the small patch that we had got picked in this game. Wind Ranger into Enchantress pre-BKB, you might struggle because it's gonna get dispelled.
Right.
Like there's a decent amount of lockdown for her after that, so that could be an issue. But once you get the BKB timing, it's a really good Wind Ranger game. Just being able to lock down both Storm Spirit, and you can also sit inside the Wukong's command and kill Monkey King.
Right.
I'm leaning towards Team Spirit here.
You're leaning Spirit, and not just because they happen to win TI, but you're just the draft.
Yeah, but I'd say 60-40, you know, nothing too crazy.
60-40. Gabe?
I've seen a lot of these Spirit games where it feels bad at first and then they start like getting into their groove and then they just take over. I'm going Spirit.
You're going Spirit. I don't know who's casting this games.
MLP and Fly, as a matter of fact.
MLP and Fly. Okay, thank you, Gabe.
I got you, don't worry.
Thank you, baby. We're going to go to them now. MLP and Fly. Take it away, lads. Have a great game.
Yes, thank you very much, Pyrian. It is MLP Dota, and of course the lovely John X Fly. John, it's been 5 years since you and I have been casting together, and you know I've got to tell you, you look very, very different in person. Have you been going to the gym? You've lost some weight. Something's happened.
I have been going to the gym. I've kind of been keeping everything under wraps. I really wanted to surprise you for 5 years, so I'm really glad to finally be with you here in person. I'm very hyped up.
Oh. Thank you so much. I mean, you look rather handsome, I must tell you. I mean,
thank you so much.
I think just because you look so fly, I might just nickname you Fly here for this series, and we'll kind of forget the name John altogether here for this game number one. But talk to me about this series. I mean, we've got Team Spirit, we've got Gaming Gladiators, a hype matchup. You've seen the drafts. I'll start with the Wind Ranger. Do you believe in this Wind Ranger mid?
First of all, that was very smooth. I do actually think this is a pretty good Wind Ranger game, and this is pretty rare. Sorry, Slacks. I don't think she's very easy for them to kill. Sure, we talked about the enchant on the panel, but if they are not able to chain her down with stuns, I think it's actually pretty hard to kill this Wind Ranger.
All right, well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, overall with draft, in fact, we might have to hold that thought because there is a 5-on-5 situation going on right now. Yutaro, he's going to break the smoke. They're onto the DK immediately. Ace needs to back out of there. A great power shot, but it's not going to be quite enough. They'll be able to make their way out, but won't be able to contest that bounty run as the good luck have funds do come out from Gaming Gladiators after that initiation. But I was going to ask you overall, with these drafts, like, did you have a preferred draft between these two teams?
Honestly, I think, I mean, everybody says it, but the Collapse Mars, it looks too juicy to pass on, you know. I have to go with Team Spirit. I think they have a very stable, solid lineup, and I think that's when they shine. I don't think Team Spirit does anything too crazy. They just do what they do very well, like a very solid, well-rounded lineup with like decent laning, decent scaling, and they're very good at it.
Oh, Solari, it's fine. Move in again. Mira gonna be able to make his way out as Collapse. They'll be able to take the bounty room. They're not gonna fight too long. They'll back themselves out of there. Yeah, a 2-for-2, I believe, on those bounties.
Yeah, and they got the D-ward on the high ground. Team Spirit got the D-ward on Gaming Gladiators. So that's 3 bounty runes plus a D-ward. So that's a pretty good start for them. And I do want to highlight these lanes because, so bottom lane we have Collapse going up against the Monkey King. And this is kind of a weird matchup where they did pick the Monkey into the Mars, but I don't think it's that one-sided. there is a situation where Mars is actually able to kind of go even in this lane.
What situation is that exactly where you can go even?
If he's able to like always perfectly time the spear, so he's never like gonna give away Jingo stacks, or if they're able to keep the Monkey King low. But I do think they're actually going to put a lot of pressure on Collapse here.
Yeah, I mean, Soleri just kind of moving in. It's one of the things about the Ench, right? Like, even with the nerfs that came in, the Enchantress still seems very, very lane dominant nonetheless. And, well, Collapse, we'll see what he gets done. I mean, he is that legendary Mars player as Mirror. It's going to be okay, barely able to get himself out, but now Collapse might be in a bit of danger. Into the tree line he goes. Illuminate will be there to follow to try and help him out, but he's still going to be chased down. Collapse might be first one, he will be. Duraccio able to pick it up on the Monkey King. I mean, if you're gaming Gladiators, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
Okay, I take everything I said back, actually. I think this lane is horrible. I also just realized that it's Coddle versus Monkey, which is like, I always forget about it, but it's actually a huge deal where you can basically dodge the nukes with the Mischief every 15 seconds, which is usually, every Coddle nuke if you time it perfectly. So I was actually completely wrong. I take it back. This lane is a disaster for Collapse, and you definitely want to slow this guy down, especially when he's playing on Mars.
In top lane, at least they're having a bit of a better time here for Team Spirit, as they are going to be able to pick up Tofu. And Maposhka the one to take that kill, and that'll feel a bit better after giving away that first blood. And naturally, even the mid lane right now, it does seem to be favoring Gaming Gladiators a little bit. Boom has pulled ahead 12 CS in comparison to the 8, so I guess 2 out of 3 lanes right now is kind of going. In fact, it might be 3 out of 3. Very swift. Maposhka isn't too careful, getting stunned up. They'll try to fight back with the Inkstore. Yatoro gonna move it onto Tofu. Do they have the damage though? Not quite. He's gonna be all right.
That was so close that he was just hitting 2 off of that creep wave, because he could have easily died without a TP. So that is a big deal that he gets to survive here, and now they kind of have the region advantage.
On lane, Accio popping a lot of damage, but very, very confident to try and move in for the Jingu. Go for a quick boundless strike out and heal up a little bit.
Look at what Celery's bringing over. Giant.
What is that?
Why is it called the giant wolf?
What's he doing with that? What's the idea?
Well, he basically enchant got nerfed for anybody that's read the patch notes, where now you can only dominate with level 1 enchant. You can only dominate level 4 creep, so you can't just get any creep. So he's brought over a giant wolf to intimidate apparently Collapse.
Very intimidating indeed, that giant wolf. A very interesting name to call it for sure there on that little creep.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Nonetheless. Still, I mean, it still seems very dominant here for Gaming Gladiators down at this bot lane. Is up the top, naturally. I mean, the DK Mirana is something I think should also be quite dominant here against Team Spirit, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to really pick anyone off with the Dragon Tail Arrow combination.
Yeah, I think this top lane is kind of a lane where Tofu is going to have freedom to move around, especially when Ace is going to hit level 4. He's going to probably get tuned Dragon's Blood, and he's going to be able to sustain here. And that's why we see so much Dragon. Oh, sorry, somebody died bottom lane.
Yeah, Collapse. He ends up going down. Soleri able to pick that one up this time around, but yeah, that bottom lane, it's really turned out to be a bit of a disaster here for Collapse on that Mars. Is there anything in particular he can do now to try and recover that bot lane?
You definitely just try to equalize as much as you can by getting the creep wave close to your tower and trying to keep that creep equilibrium, because the Monkey King needs room to chase you down. Unless he's extremely, he's like 2 levels above you, and he can kind of dive you. You want to be able to keep the creep wave up. And he does have... It looks like the wave is going to push back into Radiant, actually, so it's going to get dangerous again.
Jeez. Very, very rough time there for Collapses. Well, at least Toronto... Oh, hold on a minute. Tornado sends it back into the vortex. Toronto, he's going to be all right. Very cheeky little play there by Soleri. In fact, he's still chasing for it. Toronto, he'll be all right, but the Ench, it's one of the great things about it. You can just rotate mid like this and just kind of harass the enemy mid lane.
He's losing so many creeps here. Look at how they're just zoning him. Okay, that was a good power shot to get the creep wave back. He was going to lose a lot of gold there otherwise.
Look at that tier 1 tower damage though, Fly. Just so much damage being dealt, and that's without a siege creep.
I really like how Celery's playing. He's doing a really good job. He's pressuring mid lane. Like, he knew bottom lane was fine because the wave was pushing in. So this is like a very, very smart usage of his time. And supports are a lot about time management. So I really like what he's doing here.
surely you could just connect back into the mid lane, right? As Celery is, well, he's actually going down bot right now, maybe to help out Duraccio a little bit. Top lane though, looks like we are onto the Mirana. Tofu going to go down a second time to Maposhka. The Team Spirit at the least, the safe lane going quite well for them, is now bot lane collapse. He's going to be just fine. Celery does actually pick up the courier though of Mira, but is unable to secure the kill on the Mars this time. But I suppose you are keeping Collapse well and truly back. He cannot hit creeps. In fact, there's the jump in, back onto the Mars with the shot out from the neutral. They might have the damage, and they do. Another kill out, this time for Duraccio. More bad news for Team Spirit.
They're playing so well at this bottom lane. I love it. Like, when you have this kind of lane, which, you know, it is actually way favored on Radiant, and they're making use of it, you know, they're diving, like, he recognized that he was able to go because Mars was so low and he didn't have his spells. So really great job by Duraccio and Celery. And they were able to secure the top rune for Boom. I think it was just a 50-50.
Oh, mid lane Boom looking for a Vortex, maybe into the arrow. Does get the Vortex out. The arrow not going to be able to follow up from Toronto. He does not have the win run available. And now the arrow comes in. Tofu landing it perfectly as Maposhka. He tried to rotate to help out, but it's not going to be enough. He's just going to get out of there. And that tier 1 mid tower is just gone now, Fly.
This is so well played. I'm really loving how gaming gladiators are playing here. Even Duraccio is connecting for these kills. This is like sick aggression. I'm digging this.
It certainly is. I mean, Mira ends up going down, and now with the mid tower down, you start to question, right? Like, you've got this Pos 1 Tiny who wants to sit in jungle for a while after the laning stage, but the mid tier 1 tower's gone, so it doesn't feel like that jungle's gonna be quite as safe anymore. A Team Spirit backs kind of against the wall already, it feels.
Yeah, I really gotta highlight this Ench play. This is a very hard hero to play, in my opinion, because every decision you make is so crucial, especially in the first 5 to 10 minutes, because your hero does fall off. You don't bring any like special spells into a team fight, but everywhere Celery is going, look, they might even kill Collapse here.
It really is a great performance here from Celery as they jump in again. Duraccio with the Founder Strike and Collapse. Oh, he's having a very rough time.
I'm loving this. Ench is one of my most played heroes, and watching this, and I'm getting hyped up to play this hero. It's so good by Celery. So good.
Top lane, big zip in, Boom, gonna be there with the setup from your Dragon Knight. Ace gonna keep going, Yatoro, he's stopping quite low as they will be able to land the Vortex into the Static Remnant, but Yatoro is gonna be able to back off for now. Still the chase is on, but he'll go for a quick TP out, and he is gonna make it. But with a Dragon Knight, you might just be able to secure the top tier 1 tower now.
It's just non-stop aggression. They're just everywhere. There's like very little space for Team Spirit. Every time one core is getting bullied. First it was like bottom lane, then it was mid lane, bottom, now top. Like, there's a lot of pressure, but they are going to bring heroes bottom to try and kind of get a trade of their own, because this top tower, it looks like they're okay sacrificing it at this point.
I mean, I guess you kind of have to. Gaming Gladiators, they are just not backing off, foot on the pedal constantly. As bot lane, there is going to be a bit of a group up here from Team Spirit to try and trade some tier 1 towers. Toronto Tokyo, he's going to show up. Mira is going to scout out Celery, but the immediate TP away, he might just make it, and he will.
And he's pulling the creep wave. This guy is just playing out of his mind. Wow. He's 11k for a reason, right?
Okay. That is kind of ridiculous. I mean, at least the creep wave is going to come back eventually, but just the thought of doing that. This Celery's actually tipping Yatoro in the meantime as well. This man just has a billion hands on the keyboard right now, just getting everything done.
Yeah, it's just buying time, you know, even if it's down only like 5 seconds, if he's able to, in theory, buy 20 or 30 seconds, that is a huge deal. And they are finally going to be able to get top tower, I think, with this Dragon form. Maposhka was kind of sticking around trying to get XP, but he didn't find the ward behind the tower, so he felt like he wasn't safe. So
it's been a rather impressive start already. A 3k advantage here for Gaming Gladiators. Celery again getting the wards out, but Yatoro this time going to try and punish him with the export follow-up and the Illuminate. They should have the damage, and they'll finally get him.
That's for all the time.
Finally, the pesky Enchantress is going down. He's already kind of caused the damage that he should, so still though, a Boom gets the region ruined. Very happy Storm.
Kind of hard to, I guess you don't really need to slow down too much now as gaming, right? Like you might just go hit some jungle creeps for a little while. You might kind of farm up, but It feels like at this point they could probably just continue the aggression.
So let's think from gaming's perspective. Actually, they might go on this Dragon Knight here. They spot him kind of being alone here, and they're actually looking to chase this.
Oh, they're going to try.
Backs off.
Not going to be enough.
I think they're going to want to get this blink on the Dragon Knight before they go absolutely crazy, because they already took so many objectives off the map. They took this mid tower, they took the top tower, but they are actually smoked with Moran and Storm here.
See what they can find. Tofu, I mean, you've got to wait for Boom to try and set up with the Vortex. He's just waiting for the creep wave to kind of dissipate, so Toronto can't block himself from that arrow, but in we go. Boom is going to move in, but doesn't have the Vortex to fly out as Shackles now. Going to come in from Toronto, Tokyo. There's going to be no follow-up to it. That'll be a failed gank attempt for once here from Gaiman.
Yeah, I think Team Spirit is doing a good job of kind of slowing down the game. They're very defensive in how they're moving around, and they're trying to just, whenever Gaming Gladiators is going to a lane, they're just immediately going somewhere else and trying to farm that lane.
Oh, lane collapse. It's a great setup with the arena down. Toronto, he's going to try and show up with the focus fire and power shot, and that's a big pickoff. He's still going to rotate over. They're going to try and punish Toronto Tokyo on that Windbreaker. They might just have him. Great setup there for Tofu. It's still a great pick though if you're Team Spirit.
Yeah, it's very good and very clean, you know, in how they do it. This is what I love about watching Team Spirit play. It's very clean how they do it. They get the kill. They immediately say like, okay, you know, Toronto Tokyo is out of here, like let him die, and we just go away from this area because everybody TP'd here.
What have we?
There could be a big team fight to break out once again. The Vortex, the arrow, Mirror copying it on the backside, and he's gone.
Has been
Too easy here for
all
Boom and
day.
Tofu, and Team Spirit, I suppose they should just be thanking their lucky stars. It was Mirror rather than say Yatoro.
Yeah, I think this is the Team Spirit specialty. They know when to cut their losses. That was another example of what we've just seen bottom lane when they killed the Monkey King and let Toronto die. They just saw that, you know, Coddle got arrowed, he got cut out. Everybody immediately vacated the area instead of like, you know, let's go save our friends together.
Oh, lane moving their way down. It's around there. Looks like Toronto is currently being kind of scouted out by Duraccio, but he will kind of send something as a rise. The Boundless gonna land, but they aren't quite close enough. And in fact, straight after Team Spirit, they pop their own smoke now. Perhaps looking for a little bit of aggression here down the bot side of the map.
He does have the blink on Ace, so they didn't smoke for this. They just wanted to get a quick pick off. But let's see what they do with this, if they do want to smoke or not. Celery is kind of just being a nuisance. He's controlling areas where Team Spirit is at, trying to bait them to go on him.
They aren't doing so quite yet on Celery. Yeah, they're just very cautious around this deer right now, just not feeling like the venison. It's collapsed. And about to back himself out.
So he did show the blink on Dragon Knight by showing mid right now. They were not able to connect a kill with it. And Mars picks up his blink, so let's see what they do with this.
I mean, it's the timing. It feels like Team Spirit have to try and make something out of this, considering how the game's already gone.
Yatoro went for blink first.
Whoa, that's new.
That is new. Usually you're going to go for Echo, maybe, you know, just double Hyperstone.
Oh, there you go. They're going to try out the Celery first. X12 speed back, but Boom, he's going to zip right forward. They're already onto the Grimstroke. They might just have him. And in fact, they do Maposhka. He'll go down with the Dragon Knight.
Is under attack.
Ace is gone. It's looking decent right now for Team Spirit. Celery. Well, he's going to just back himself out. I guess you're not probably going to be able to get the enchantment. In fact, Boom, he's going to move right back in for another kill onto Mirror. That'll be about it. 2 for 1 so far. Team Spirit looks like they are going to retreat. Or maybe not. Yatoro, he does have that blink up. A great shackle down from Toronto Tokyo. Will mean Tofu is going to die. And Team Spirit, they find an even trade.
I think this is really cool actually by Yatoro, because he recognizes that he has a Coddle on his team, and this Coddle doesn't have like a traditional like mid hero to play with, right? He doesn't have an Ember Spirit or a Storm. So what I think what they're doing is they're just gonna play on giving this tiny mana and just comboing non-stop. Or the Mars, of course. But this is very interesting because he's gonna get out-conquered this monkey, but they can't get all the kills around the map now.
So this certainly feels like Team Spirit might just get going soon, as we do get to see a bit of a replay of that last team fight. And I mean, it was a great start here for Spirit, just bursting down Ace on the Dragon Knight, but after that it kind of fell apart a little bit. It doesn't feel like they're really able to control, say, Boom right now on that Storm, and I suppose once you find an answer to him, that's when you're going to feel a lot better in these team fights of Spirit.
Yeah, that was kind of almost, you know, very good for Gaming Gladiators, but turns out to be an okay trade for both teams in the end. And we can see now back into the game, they're just, or well, I guess you can still see that kill earlier. But back in the game, we do have a smoke going on because Team Spirit do feel like they need to do something with this double blink timing.
There is a big smoke going on right now here. Well, Team Spirit,
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated indeed. Very, very important. There's your smoke out. Team Spirit, they're going to try and move into that Radiant Triangle where Tofu, he's going to break the smoke and immediately leaps himself out. Great smoke break there from our Mirana. Like Spirit, they're going to find nothing out of this 5-man smoke attempt.
He's losing so much gold on Tiny for doing this. He really needs to find these kills with this blink first. Just look how ahead this Monkey King is pulling.
It's desperate times and desperate measures here from Team Spirit to try and get something going. Thing is, against the Monkey King as well, like, chances are you aren't going to be able to catch him, and the only person that's really nearby is Celery, which I think for Celery, he's more than happy to just keep running around and forcing the chase onto him.
Celery is just, like I said, he's playing out of his mind. He's still doing what I think is the right thing. He's just trying to give vision. He's trying to be annoying. He's trying to waste our time because he knows that his Monkey King has a Battlefield and he's farming. With this information that the Tiny has this blink, they should feel so comfortable to just delay the game by like 5 minutes.
Oh, look at this out.
Guy.
Oh
My goodness.
sickening, guy. It's sickening.
And they're stealing the stack. These guys are playing so good.
It is an incredible performance so far here against the TI-10 champions here. I mean, Gaming Gladiators, they are looking absolutely fantastic. You can't really put it any other way. So I suppose as long as they keep this up, chances are they'll pull the win through for game number 1. Like, you've already got the Battle Fury and the Monkey King. There's no reason your farm should be slowing down anytime soon.
What I miss?
I guess I should ask you, Fly, what do Team Spirit do right now to try and push the game back their way?
I mean, you can just see they're just looking for anything. And if they only catch Celery, like, honestly, who cares? That's it. I'm sure he's laughing. He's like gonna see like, ha ha ha, you killed me. But look at your bottom lane, you know, like Ace is getting to farm up. They're about to hit this double BKB timing on Storm, and Monkey King is getting close as well. And when they hit that, I think it's kind of over for Team Spirit. They're not going to be able to match that timing.
So it doesn't feel that way right now. Just trying to push in that mid-tier 1 tower here, Team Spirit. It's just that they don't seem confident. They didn't seem comfortable trying to move in. And again, like you pointed out, like, yeah, you kill Celery, but he doesn't really care. He's already done his job in the first 5-10 minutes. It's all over for him anyway.
Yeah, and the way they're positioned on the map on Gaming Gladiators, where they recognized where Team Spirit is, and that this is Team Spirit's time to fight, right? Without this, with this double dagger, they're just farming the right side of the map. They're like, that's fine, we'll trade. You know, you guys run around, try to do something, and they're slowly pulling ahead. And now they do have the BKB and the DD on Storm. This is super scary.
As you say that, the 4-man smoke is going to fly out. Gaming Gladiators towards the top lane. Team Spirit, they'll still hang around that Radiant Triangle, but they don't have vision. In fact, they're going to make the jump in very, very soon. Yatoro, he's made the jump onto Jirachi, but it was all effect. In they go with the Brewbox command now. Yatoro's gone already. There goes Collapse of the Master Boot, and they've just got a TP. There is no chance they can try to force this fight. And Gaming Gladiators, man, they're making it look easy right now during this game number 1.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful, Dota. I'm like, the Ratio, he doesn't have his BKB yet, but he knows how strong they are with this Storm. Like, we're gonna see this replay again. He's actually willing to join for this fight without his BKB because he knows this is their time to fight. This DD Storm with BKB, and you can see they just get baited. They can't even burst this guy down.
It's a real clinical performance here so far, as they are going to go straight into Roshan afterwards, and they're going to be able to get away with it just fine. Aegis onto the Storm now, and it's like, what do you do now? Like, Boom's got a BKB up, he's got the Null Talismans, which are very balanced naturally. You know, nothing wrong with those. With the Aegis up now, it feels impossible.
Yeah, at this point, everyone's looking, oh, they're actually going to jump on Yatoro here.
Why not? Yatoro, he's going to be able to back out. So at least, I suppose at least you force out the BKB charge from Boom, but they might just wait 70 seconds.
Yeah, I think, you know, getting the BKB down is good, but it doesn't really change the state of this game. I think Eyes all eyes on Team Spirit are Toronto Tokyo because he's close to his BKB, and Yatoro's like, I went this blink, it didn't really work out. I hope you carry me now, my friend.
And we can't get onto Celery. They can't kill him. He just Glimmer Capes up. The Avalanche toss combo did nothing from Yatoro, and the Celery, he's just getting all the information in the world for his team.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's
is
playing
under attack.
so well, and he's even like, look at the creep he's sending out. He took the little center already. He's just getting any bit of information he can for his team. So like, again, I really have to highlight this play. He did just take the tome, which is like, I did some hard work, guys.
Yeah. So, you know, pause 5 seconds of the time too. You know, for any core players out there, just stop taking our tomes. For the love of God.
I've been wanting this.
Okay, I actually sent it over to Boom. I'm sorry. That's.
Oh my God, he didn't really, did he? This mirror. He does go down. I can't believe we're seeing tombs being handed to the cores in these pro matches. It's absolutely disgusting. As there, Yatoro gonna get caught out as well. Duraccio gonna make his way in. Yatoro, he's gonna try to run, but there's nothing he can do here against the side of Gaming Gladiators. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they're doing such a clean job of like choking out the map and getting any opportunity that Team Spirit gives them. And it is desperation mode for Team Spirit. They're gonna try to get to their BKB timings. Like Mars is kind of close. Wind Ranger is gonna have hers. But it's looking pretty grim. I don't know if they're gonna be able to deal with this Monkey King.
Is there certain item timings perhaps the Team Spirit could kind of look for to be able to fight back against? I mean, I was gonna say I thought the Blinks and BKBs were gonna be it, but it hasn't worked. Is there anything else they can look forward to?
I mean, I think they definitely, this Tiny is just praying for his team to like put in the work right now while he recovers a little bit. So I do think they're gonna probably get this BKB on Mars, and they're gonna try to go for a fight if they see the opening. Actually, they're gonna smoke without the BKB on Mars. So let's see here.
Give it a shot. Ace, he's the closest target around on that Dragon Knight. They will see him from the high ground very, very soon. Ace, he gets jumped. Teammates are around him though. It's Mego onto Yatoro. He's in big trouble. Yatoro's gone already. Toronto Tokyo, he'll keep trying with the focus fire, but it's not looking good for him. Boom just chased him down to the ends of the earth, going for another. He'll go after the Mars instead. Collapse. He's gonna drop. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, as soon as they miss that chain stun on the Dragon Knight and he gets the BKB, the fight's just over. It's their only option is to basically kill him, like within the chain stun.
And now they're on tier 3 towers. We're only 23 minutes into the game, but they're just going straight after tier 3s. And oh boy, Gaming Gladiators, they came to play their debut game here against Team Spirit, and they've just looked brilliant.
They looked amazing. That was another DD storm. This entire game, this guy's in control. Let's see if they get to chase them out. But I'm pretty sure they're out. You can't do anything.
Yeah, Moonlight Shadow, no detection. Even if you had detection, you can't really chase.
They're looking to turn around actually on DD.
Why not? Toronto Tokyo, not gonna get Boundless Strike. They'll be all right.
Almost. Even they laugh. It's okay.
Well, I mean, you've still got the Aegis up on Boom, so I guess you just retreat for a bit, wait out the BKBs for a second, and just move in again. They'll go top tier 2 instead. And, well, Toronto Tokyo, he's going to be around to try and push the lane out, but it's probably not going to be that simple.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a gem on Celery as well. He wants to make sure there's like absolutely no way they're going to be spotted before the team fight happens, or removing any sort of vision from Team Spirit. He gave it to his Dragon Knight, which is also a good call because it's very hard for Ace to actually die in these fights. So yeah, they're just choking out the map slowly. They already got the mid-rack. Life is good, you know?
That it is. Yatoro, he does at least have the moonshot up now, and it looks like he is going to go for the Aghanim shot himself. And I don't know if that's really going to be the game changer. It does feel like he needs at least the BKB timing before he can really get involved, but maybe this is that point where Yatoro can start to slowly help out his team.
So I think this is kind of a cool point to talk about because Tiny he's been such a popular hero, and he did get nerfed. And this hero can look completely imbalanced or very trash, depending on the situation. In this situation, he does not look very good because he's just not able to hit buildings.
Here we go again. A pot shot immediately being called out here by Boom. No contest against the Storm as now Toronto Tokyo trying to fight against the Rachio with his BKB, but he has to TP out. Cannot stick around to try his collapse. To run towards the south, but he's running the opposite way to his base. Tofu not actually going to see him, it seems, on the Mars, so he's going to be fine for now, but is he going to go for that creep wave?
Oh, is he going to do it?
He's doing it. Maybe he's just going to zip in and take his life for it. Maybe you can argue they're just trying to make space here for Yatoro, but I'm not sure it's worth his own life.
Oh my goodness, that was dangerous. And they're still like fighting on the high ground here.
Accelerate, getting shackled up. Nice power shot. They will at least find the edge. And it seems like that's going to be enough. But, I mean, even if Collapse was trying to make space on that Mars, it just doesn't matter because you've got Ace and Celery just chasing down Yatoro anyway.
Yeah, this is devastating to play. Like, there's nowhere that's safe on the map. And now, when you look at these wards that they have, so it's just, aha, these fools trying to kill me again. It's okay. They've got the vision on both sides, so they're able to see basically any movement that Team Spirit does, unless they're smoked. So they know exactly where they are, and they're gonna slowly make their way there, like chase them out, make them TP away, choke them out, basically.
Right. I mean, it does feel like Gaming Gladiators just kind of own the map right now, and well, they do run straight north, trying to go for a bit more. TPs are there. Durachio setting up Yatoro. He's been caught out again. BKBs are going to make sure they do not get stunned up by the Inkswell. Can they find more? They're looking for Mirror, but they don't have the disable. Nevertheless, you got the Tiny. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, and this Monkey King is just so farmed, and he has this Aghanim Scepter, which is, you know, like it's been buffed recently, where you actually get Jingu stacks.
My goodness, Maposhka just disappearing immediately as they try onto Durachio with the Butterfly. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage out from Toronto Tokyo. He'll take one down. How much can they punish? Mira is to get caught. Great storm line down. There is the Mirana to go down. Tofu is gone. Here comes Boom though on that storm. Onto Toronto, but a great shackle down. Toronto Tokyo setting up again, but can he keep the fight going? His BKB is going to wear out. Instead, they'll turn onto Collapse, onto the Mars, and they'll be able to pick him off. But it seems like that kill onto the Monkey King for Team Spirit, it's massive.
It's as good as it gets at this point. If you're able to get that kill, that's, you know, some hope you're gonna feel a little bit of a surge of motivation, or maybe, you know, anything, because I'm pretty sure if you're Team Spirit right now, it's all looking pretty grim. So that one kill gives you this feeling like you might have a chance, and we're gonna see a replay of that.
Maposhka instantly just kind of getting deleted there, and Durachio, I guess he didn't have his BKB available. He had just used it earlier, and that cost him. Maybe just a bit too much confidence.
Yeah, it's definitely an overconfidence. Like, you feel like you own the map, and you get angry when somebody's like trying to take your map. You know, like, this is my town. You know, so he does get punished for it. But I think now, like, it does give a little bit of hope to Team Spirit, but I think the state of the game is still pretty similar. And Ace is also getting extremely farmed after all of this, like picking up these kills afterwards.
Oh, it's Toronto Tokyo. Obviously, a lot of focus there from the man. And was mostly the reason why they were able to take down Durachio's. We'll see how much more he can get done here. Team Spirit, they're not out of this game one yet. Still massive net worth lead here for Gaming Gladiators, but a couple more team fights like that, and you might see it start to swing the other way. There's going to be a bit of a smoke up here from Boom.
So Roche is back up, and let's see if like Team Spirit decide they want to fight this. I don't know if they can, but maybe it's like one of those Hail Mary plays where like we take this Roche fight, we win it, we're back in the game, we lose it. You know, the game's kind of looking grim anyways.
They are going to move their way in. Sean going to be tanked by Celery, and as you can see, the rest of Team Spirit right now just kind of occupying their own dire triangle. It's kind of one of those things, like, you might not feel like you can really fight right now, so you'd rather take the time to farm up, or maybe even Team Spirit just aren't aware Roshan's happening. It's just going to go free the way of Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, I think either they didn't have a smoke, or they just made the call that we're not going to fight this, and we're going to just try to basically split them up, or try to look for an opportunity when they eventually try to push our high ground, which I'm okay with. I do think it would have been a very, very low probability play if they did try to contest that Roche.
Certainly so. I certainly didn't have much confidence in them being able to really contest that one, as Team Spirit. They are just taking the time right now to keep that farm going, and I suppose that's the only thing you can do right now. Wait for Gaming Gladiators to try and make their way up towards the high ground of your base and try to defend that, but every chance you get, just make sure your Toro is still hitting creeps and still trying to scale here on this Tiny. I mean, mind you, though, you look at his net worth and it is kind of depressing. Very low in the net worth borders. Look at this. Boom, right into the tier 4 towers. He saw Mapochka. He wants the Brimstone, but he's not going to be able to finish the kill.
That bulwark is just hilarious. He actually just couldn't kill him because Collapse was just sitting there and taking the hits. Oh, I love it.
It is nice to watch as we are going to see a 5-man smoke of Gaming Gladiators. They're going to try and make something happen here as your Toro in the mid lane is going to show, but there's your Dragon Tail to set up from Ace into the Wukongs and the Boundless Strike. They've got so much control. Your Toro's gone. Nobody able to help out the Tiny. And he's down for 60. No buyback available.
Yeah, they're still gonna go for this, and they know there's no BKB and Dragonite. This might be their opening to kill DK. Let's see if they go for it.
Collapse is gonna jump in. A great start out onto Durantio. Could be a good turnaround as they do find the Aegis, but boom, he's gonna make the jump in into the backside. He's already got Mirror on that keeper of the line. He's down. He'll buy back immediately, but Collapse now has been caught out. They can't hold Boom down at all. Not while the BKB is available. That's going to be another lane of Barracks going to the way of Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, they cannot get the last tracks, fortunately, because there's a tier 2 available. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just start knocking on your tier 4s. Okay, they're actually going to go bottom. Okay, they're going to go for the safe play here. They don't want to take any chances. They know this game is basically in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, these are still the TI-10 champions, right? Like, you've got to pay respect to these guys. There's always the chance they can kind of push their way back if you do try and go after that Ancient immediately, and always a bit safer to just go down that conservative route, get those mega creeps up.
For sure. I'm actually curious about this monkey build where you spawn the monkeys with the Aghanim Scepter, and I'm not sure if the monkeys are also able to crit with the Daedalus. I actually don't know, but I assume it does. And like, you can see the timings on this guy are insane. That
is a big monkey, that's for sure.
They are smoked up on Team Spirit. It looks like this is like the last fight. Let's see if they make any magic happen.
Huge jump first, Severy. He's the only one showing. Look how tanky this man is. They fly through, they'll finally take him down, but yet Toro, he's been caught again. Boom, just too good on the storm as they even found Toronto here. It was definitely a great arena though, as then Toronto's Ace. He's going to make the jump in on the Dragon Knight, but he's a tanky boy. He is going to go down. They do find one. Can they find more though? Toronto going to try and move in, but Durantio is still around that Monkey King and is still doing a lot of damage. It's Collapse. They'll try and catch him out, but is unable to. But they do successfully hold that last lane at Barracks.
And they do get the gem from the Dragon Knight, so a little bit of hope. They do have this gem. They have like at least a minute now to try and get lanes out, maybe deal with some wards with this gem. That was very well played by Collapse with the arena and later on the spear.
Big plays here from Spirit. They are still just so far behind, but you're approaching that tiny late game now, Fly. I mean, he's going to approach that level 20 talent. That's when things get very, very fun when it comes to damage. And what do you think the chances are Team Spirit can make a bit of a miracle comeback here in this game one?
The win probability gives them 1%, so it's not over. So I'll give him 1%. I'll go with Dota 2 in this one.
Excellent. Thank you, Gabe. We always appreciate the probabilities coming out here. So 1%, I'd say that's fairly accurate right now, and there we go. You see that huge net worth difference between Durantio and Yatoro, and that may just go back to the fact that you pointed this out, he went for that blink timing very early on.
Yeah, it was a very ambitious play, and I thought it was a really cool idea. It didn't work out. As simple as that, they just weren't able to get any kills.
Oh, damn, Gladiators now. Through the mid lane into the die triangle they go, trying to hunt down Team Spirit as Poshka doing his best to get some wards down to get the vision for his team before this team fight does break out. But the Moonlight Shadow is going to be there. Ace does find Poshka. That should be one.
Cannot be.
The rest of his team aren't going to be able to TP out, it seems, as he will kind of tank the gank here for Team Spirit.
Yeah, and this means that they're going to be able to push this bottom lane in again and possibly threaten the last set of racks if they choose to do so, which I think they're strong enough to do it.
Certainly try. They're going to make their way through. Team Spirit, they have managed to defend the last time around. We'll just have to see if they can do it again. Keep in mind, Gaming Gladiators this time do not have the Aegis up. They are fighting without that secondary life.
Yeah, they did buy a new gem for Ace, so he is walking with the gem around again, just trying to get any sort of vision advantage they can. But it is true that there is a bit of a risk for this Monkey King to hit high ground, because if he does get speared, they don't really have a good way of saving anyone on Gaming Gladiators.
Certainly don't. It's maybe even the shackles as well, right? Like you've seen Toronto Tokyo just getting shackle after shackle after shackle, and with the MKB up on the Wind Ranger, he has so much damage available to him. He's definitely a scary Wind Ranger right now as well.
Yeah, so I think the way Gaming Gladiators is going to approach this is they're just going to choke the map out, and as soon as Team Spirit steps out and they see it, they're going to look to fight. But I don't think they're going to want to just hit the tier 4s when everybody's alive.
Great news, by the way, Fly. We did just see that the Monkey King statues do indeed crit. So there you go.
Okay, that's good knowledge. I do know that they bash, so this guy's going all out on the monkey build. They're monkeys on monkeys.
Seems very balanced.
Critting you and bashing you. It sounds pretty scary.
Here we go. 5-man spoke. Team Spirit gonna try and make something happen here. Maybe find a pick off onto at least one. Boom. It'd be a great target.
Who drops the first time on this?
So he does. Zane's gonna move in. Yatoro already popping that BKB, but this picked off mirror. Yatoro, he's just gonna TP up, and now Toronto Tokyo gets left behind on the Wind Ranger. No buyback available. It's looking rough now. The Team Spiriters, they've got to try and defend 3v5, but without BKBs up, I just don't see how you do it. They do call GG. GG. It's just a very dominant performance here from Game, and I'll tell you what, Fly, they made it look easy.
They played fantastic. I really thought that was like a masterclass performance, especially on Edge. They all played very well, but I have to give MVP to Celery if I had to give it to anyone, because the amount of damage he's done in the early game, like set them up for this beautiful game.